The ramp drops, and the world turns into noise. Cold water slams your boots. Smoke, salt, and cordite burn your throat. Men in front of you disappear in a burst of spray, like the sea itself is being punched. Someone screams to move. Someone screams to stay down. The only thing you understand is that standing upright is a mistake. You're in the first wave at Omaha Beach. It's June 6th, 1944. H hour, 6:30. The plan was simple on paper. Get off the sand, push inland, take the exits. But the beach is wider than you imagined, and the gunfire is coming from places you can't even see yet. Your landing craft becomes a trap the second the ramp opens. Bodies pile in the doorway. A man falls against you, dead weight, and you have to step over him or be pinned there with the rest. The water is freezing. The shore is chaos. And the first decision of your life is already here. Do you run into open sand, or do you drop low and live long enough to find cover?
Move up, keep low.
Here's the part nobody can teach you on a parade ground. Omaha is designed like a funnel of death. At low tide, you don't land next to cover. You land in open water and step into a flat stretch of beach that can feel endless, with nothing tall enough to hide a human body. Every few seconds, you look up and realize the real battlefield isn't the sand. It's the high ground. Ahead of you are bluffs, 30 to 50 meters high, and the Germans aren't firing from one place. They're firing from many. Concrete positions, trenches, machine guns, mortars, set up in strongpoints that overlap each other so the beach is covered from multiple angles. Your plan says, push inland. But there are only a handful of real exits. 5 main draws, gaps that lead off the beach. And that's the trap. Every man wants the same doorway, so crowds form, movement jams, and a safe exit turns into a target. If you sprint straight, you're a silhouette. If you bunch at a draw, you're a pileup. So the question becomes brutal and simple. How do you move without becoming visible? The water around you isn't empty, it's built to stop you. Ahead, the surf is packed with obstacles, metal hedgehogs, angled ramps, heavy gates, timber stakes, many of them mined. They aren't just there to wreck landing craft. They force you to slow down, detour, and bunch together in the worst place possible, knee-deep water with no cover. Men collide, packs snag, rifles lift above heads to keep them dry. Someone trips and disappears under the surf, and the crowd surges over him because stopping means dying. This is where courage doesn't help. Space helps. Somewhere in this chaos, combat engineers are supposed to cut lanes and blow gaps so the next waves can land. But engineers can't clear obstacles while being shot at from the bluffs, so the lanes don't open fast enough. The beach starts to clog, boats landing on top of boats, men piling into the same narrow paths, everyone searching for the same thin line of safety. That's the design of it. Obstacles in the water, strong points on the heights, and the tide turning the space between them into a killing zone. Your problem isn't just bullets, it's traffic, and the ocean is the road. This is the moment you realize the plan didn't fail because men were scared. It failed because the battlefield didn't match the paper. In the smoke and current, many boats land off their intended sectors. Units mix. Leaders who were supposed to be 500 meters apart are suddenly in the same patch of surf, shouting different orders. That means the beach doesn't fill evenly. It clogs in the worst places. The bombardment you were promised, the one that was supposed to smash the defenses, doesn't silence enough of the guns. Too many positions on the bluffs are still alive, firing down into the exits, into the water, into the gaps where everyone is forced to move. And the worst surprise? The defenders are stronger than expected. Parts of the German 352nd Infantry Division are in the line here, and their strongpoints are built to overlap. So even if you escape one firing lane, another can still reach you.
Keep your heads down, we're almost
Then the
there.
sea takes away your armor. The floating tanks meant to give you cover hit rough water, launch too far out, and many never make it to shore.
Ready.
So you're left with less steel, less smoke, less suppression, just rifles in open space. That's the truth of Omaha. You don't lose because you lack courage. You lose because the first minutes steal your formation, your firepower, and your time before you even touch the sand.
Move out, keep moving.
This is where you stop thinking like a soldier in a plan and start thinking like a body in open space.
Get off the beach.
First rule, don't bunch up. Crowds create targets. If 10 men hide behind the same obstacle, one burst can find all of you. So you spread, by instinct or by force, into anything that breaks your outline. An obstacle, a shell hole, a ridge of wet sand.
Move up, get off the
Second rule, go low and stay low.
medic.
Standing turns you into a silhouette. Crawling turns you into a problem. You move in short bursts, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, then flat again. You don't run until you can run from cover to cover.
Move up, keep low. We're heading
Third
for the
rule,
bluffs.
use the beach like a map. The shingle bank up ahead, stones piled by the surf, might be the first real line of cover you reach. Behind it, you can breathe for a moment, count who's left, and see where fire is coming from.
Pinned, sir. We need cover.
And the fourth rule is the hardest. Move sideways when forward is suicide. If the draw you aimed for is a death funnel, you don't keep feeding it. You crawl laterally, searching for a weaker angle, a dead spot, a gap between strong points. Omaha isn't won by bravery alone. It's won by timing, cover, and the discipline to move only when the beach gives you a window.
Keep moving. Get to
The beach doesn't turn with one heroic charge. It turns in pieces, because the only way out of a killing zone is to stop acting like one big wave. Small groups begin to do what the plan can't.
Move up, let's
A few
go.
men crawl laterally until the fire thins for a second. Someone finds a shallow fold in the sand. Someone spots a dead angle beneath a bluff where a machine gun can't depress far enough to hit.
All right, move.
That becomes a doorway. You make it to the shingle, then you move again. Short bursts, low, using smoke and spray like a curtain. The moment you reach the base of the bluff, the world changes.
Move up the bluff.
The enemy above can still kill you, but now you can climb out of his perfect angles. You claw up gullies, scramble through grass and sand, and slip between strong points instead of attacking them head on.
We're almost at
This
the
is the real lesson of Omaha. The defenses are built to shred straight lines. So the beach is won by men who stop moving in straight lines. And as the morning grinds on, naval guns begin to matter more. Destroyers creep closer to shore to fire into positions that were still alive, because the only way to break interlocking fire is to punch holes in it.
to cover over here.
Once a few pockets reach the top, the beach is no longer only a trap. It becomes a front line that can finally move inland.
Move, move.
Here's what history says once the smoke
Get a hand
clears.
with this stretcher over here.
Omaha Beach was the most brutal American landing on D-Day. The first wave hit at 6:30, and for a long stretch of the morning, the assault nearly stalled at the waterline. Units landed off target, obstacles and fire choked the beach, and the exits, the draws, became choke points instead of doorways. By the end of the day, tens of thousands of Americans had made it ashore on Omaha, roughly 34,000, but the cost was heavy.
Gotta get off this bridge.
Around 2,000 to 3,000 casualties on this beach alone, depending on how the count is measured.
Move up, move
And
up.
that's the
Get to
point.
seawall.
Omaha wasn't a clean victory. It was survival, minute by minute, until enough small breakthroughs stacked together to become momentum. What mattered wasn't just one position captured, It was the fact that Omaha did not fail. Because if this beach collapses, the entire Normandy landing becomes more fragile. Less space, fewer supplies, fewer routes inland. The invasion wasn't won in one moment. It was made possible by thousands of small decisions that kept men moving forward when the beach tried to pin them there forever. Now change only one thing. One decision that's realistic in the first seconds. When the ramp drops, you don't sprint with the crowd into open sand. You step off, go low immediately, and you choose the nearest ugly piece of metal in the surf. An obstacle, a hedgehog, anything that breaks your outline. You let the first burst of fire spend itself on the men who stand up. Then you move like the beach is a puzzle, not a race. 2 seconds forward, down. Another 2 seconds, down again. You crawl sideways when the lane ahead becomes a funnel. You wait for spray and smoke, because even a half second of concealment can be the difference between movement and being seen. Does that save you? No promises. Omaha doesn't hand out guarantees. But it changes the odds in a way that makes sense. You reduce the time you're a silhouette. You reduce the chance you get trapped in a jam at the draw. You buy yourself the one thing this beach steals first: seconds. And on Omaha, seconds are not time. They are life. Omaha teaches a brutal truth about survival. The world doesn't kill you with drama. It kills you with exposure. On that beach, the deadliest seconds weren't the loud ones. They were the ordinary seconds, when a man stood up because running felt like action, when a group crowded the same doorway because it looked like the only exit, when hesitation turned into traffic, and traffic turned into a target. That's why the story of Omaha isn't just heroes charged the beach. The real story is that thousands of people adapted in real time. They learned the geometry. They stopped moving in straight lines. They used micro-cover, timing, and discipline to turn a killing zone into a foothold. And the larger lesson is this: in any crisis, war, evacuation, disaster, collapse, your first job is to stop feeding the trap. Don't bunch where everyone is bunching. Don't run where everyone can see you. Don't wait for certainty when certainty is the luxury the situation has already taken away. Omaha was supposed to break the invasion. It didn't. Because enough people did the hardest thing under fire. They kept making small, correct decisions until the beach stopped owning them.